single touchdown. They haven't scored fewer than 6 points in a season opener since 1989. Jimmy Johnson's first game as a head coach, Troy Aikman's first game as a Cowboys quarterback, and Jerry Jones' first game as the owner of the franchise. And I'm not sure they're set up for a lot of success for Cooper Rush taking over now.
Cowboys have issues through week 1 of the NFL season. Ed mentioning the results for the NFC East on Sunday. Told you the Commanders beat the Jaguars 28-22. Carson Wentz throwing for 4 touchdowns. Then there's the Giants and the Titans. Tennessee seemingly in control of this one, scoring early at will, but the Giants rally in the second half.
Play fake. Jones rolls right, throws right, touchdown Giants, Chris Myrick. They got the tight end leaking out, and with 1:06 to go, the Giants are an extra point away from tying it.
Giants pulling it within 1 on that touchdown. Go for the tie or go for the win. Giants keep the offense out there.
Jones takes the snap, rolls right, shovel pass for Barkley. Barkley in for the 2-point conversion. A little shovel pass to Saquon, and then he did the rest, taking on defenders, and the Giants have the lead 21-20 with 1:06 to go.
That's playing the win there, Bob.
Winds up being enough as the Titans miss what would have been a game-winning field goal at the gun. And the Giants hang on for the 1-point win, 21-20. Saquon Barkley got that 2-point conversion.
Saquon, when your head coach calls you guys over and says, if we score, we're going for 2, your thought is what?
Yeah. When we scored, I was on the field, and I saw him put up the 2 sign. We kind of made eye contact, and he gave me that look, and I knew what the play was going to be. And he gave me that look, and I kind of looked back at him and, said, F yeah, and then, we called it up, and we were able to execute the play and get in. But that he's a man of his word. He told us he's going to be aggressive. He told us he's going to lean on the players to make plays, and in that situation, he did exactly that. And when you have a coach like that, definitely will make you go out there and fight for him and execute in those situations.
Saquon Barkley, 164 yards rushing and a touchdown. In addition to that 2-point conversion, the 164 yards rushing, the most in a season opener in Giants history, eclipsing Tiki Barber's mark from 2003. But it's that 2-point conversion that Brian Daboll called for.
Go for 2.
When we got the ball.
Why?
Go for the win. We're going to be aggressive. That's what we want to do. That's the mindset I want the players to have. And if it didn't work, I could live with it. I thought that was the right decision. You're an inch away or whatever it was. I trust Saquon. I grabbed a couple of the defensive players that have busted their tails out there, along with some of the offensive guys that weren't out there. And I said, hey, we got the ball wherever it was. I said, we score, I'm going for 2. You guys go with that? And they said, F yeah.
And the Giants get the win at Tennessee, 21-20. Eagles and Lions.
Goff takes the snap, backs up, lets it fly, and it is intercepted. Running with the football is Blackberry, and Blackberry's in for the touchdown. Pick 6, James Blackberry. Bradbury.
Eagles go on to a 38-35 win over the Lions. Sports Radio 94 WIP with the call. Eagles have scored 82 points against Detroit in their last 2 games without throwing a touchdown pass. Most points in 2-game span against a single team without throwing a touchdown pass since 1933. But it's a win. Jalen Hurts, 243 yards passing and 90 yards rushing with a touchdown as well for his coach, Nick Sirianni.
I thought he was in complete control of checking the plays, getting to different things, knowing what the defense was doing. Did it work every time we checked to a play? No, but that's on us as coaches. Like we're telling them to get to something versus a certain look, and if it doesn't work. But he had complete control of what was going on out there today. He saw the field perfectly. He really did, and I'm really talking more about you're doing this, we'll do that. You know what I mean? And he's going to have plays that he wants back, and we're going to have calls that we want back. But I thought he played a really outstanding game.
And the Eagles get the win as a result. Eagles, Giants, Commanders all getting wins in the division, while the Dallas Cowboys do not, losing the Sunday night game and losing quarterback Dak Prescott in the process. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio.
Ravens at Jets.
Jets, of course, without their starting quarterback, Zach Wilson, out until at least week 4. Joe Flacco getting the start to open the season, but the Ravens were in control of this one.
On 1st down and 10 from the 45. Lamar off the play fake, loads up, middle of the field's got a man, and it is caught. Touchdown! Rashad Bateman, 55 yards from Lamar Jackson, and the Ravens make it look easy.
Lamar Jackson throws for 213 yards and 3 touchdowns. He was picked once, but Jackson, all 3 touchdown passes traveling at least 15 yards in the air. And Jackson, despite not having a long-term contract, leads the Ravens to a 24-9 win over the Jets. Jets have lost 6 of the last 7 season openers, first time being held under 10 points in the opener since 2010, also against the Ravens. Sunday's game was here on ESPN Radio. Steve Levy, Mike Tannenbaum had the call for us. Steve?
Thanks very much. On a bleak day in New Jersey, a really rough home opener for the New York Jets as they fall to the Baltimore Ravens 24-9. And I think, Mike Tannenbaum, the national story will be same old Jets, but the story should really be how the Baltimore Ravens came out and dominated on this field today.
Absolutely. It may be dreary in Jersey, but the sun is shining in Baltimore, Maryland, because this looks like a complete football team. Best kicker. They may have the best quarterback. You know, we may have said Thursday night it was Josh Allen, but the way Lamar Jackson played today, Steve, my gosh, getting the ball down the field, they made one adjustment with Rashad Bateman, and look out, you know, they drew a big PI as well, and Lamar Jackson was so poised in the pocket. We both talked about it all game, Steve. The plays with his feet are going to be there, we know that, but it just seems like he's just more and more confident in the pocket, and boy, this is going to be a really, really tough team to beat.
And he does all of that on the field today, Mike, after the deadline of Friday, only reported by our Chris Mortensen and Adam Schefter that he rejected a 6-year, $133 million deal. That contract conversation, it's going to linger all season long, and Lamar didn't look like it affected him in any way.
Yeah, and he's one of these guys that, like, I know I wouldn't be able to handle that. Plus, you know, doesn't have an agent, and he has a graciousness about him and an elegance that is just so admirable. And, you know, on the other side of the coin, Steve, you know, for the Jets, this is going to test the leadership of Robert Saleh. As we both know, having the familiarity with the New York market, it's going to be here we go again, same old Jets. He's got to get this team ready to go, get excited about beating the Cleveland Browns. It's a one-game season, one at a time, and this is a young team, and they can't be distracted by all these people outside their building.
Quickly here, Zach Wilson was a starting quarterback today. Is the score any different?
No, I haven't seen a lot from Zach Wilson to have me encouraged, to be candid, because, first of all, durability is job number one, and, you know, he did not play great in the preseason, so that doesn't mean he doesn't have a great future, but, you know, look, we joked during the broadcast, but, like, I don't care who was playing quarterback, that Jet offensive line just didn't give anybody time to get comfortable.
Okay, New York sports radio talk shows and the back pages of the New York tabloids, it's all yours. 24-9, the Ravens dominate the Jets. For Mike Tannenbaum and everyone on our ESPN radio crew, I'm Steve Levy, right here on your home for the Football Sunday Game of the Week, ESPN Radio. Now, let's go back to the studio.
All right, Steve, we'll see how the Dr. Pepper calling line sounds during the day on Monday with these quarterback issues for teams like the Jets and, of course, like the Dallas Cowboys as well. Sports Center all night. ESPN Radio mentioned it was a bleak day in New Jersey. Bleak would be an understatement for the situation in Chicago Sunday.
3 receivers. Good takeoff by the Bears front. Lance throws. Oh! Picked off. Eddie Jackson's got it. Up with it at the 40, 35, 30. Eddie Jackson inside the 25-yard line and down near the 22. It's been 31 games since Eddie Jackson had a pick. That was back in the final game of 2019, and there he is with the pick.
Just raining all day in Chicago. WBBM News Radio 780. Bears a 19-10 win over the Niners for Chicago. First season opening win at home since 2013. They had lost 4 straight. They scored all 19 of their points in the second half, outscoring the Niners by 16 in the second half. Justin Fields, 121 yards passing and 2 touchdowns, did throw a pick as well. Trey Lance, 13 of 28, just 164 yards passing and an interception, 55% career completion percentage in 3 games as a starter. But, of course, Sundays was just in very wet weather in Chicago. ESPN analyst Tim Hasselbeck.
the leash is going to be much longer than one game, especially in terrible conditions. I think the thing that, I've always said, about this season for Trey Lance is that he doesn't have a ton of experience, and there are going to be growing pains, plain and simple. He has not started, a ton of games, over the last 3 seasons. I mean, he just hasn't because of COVID and